Look, if you're in the market for a used car, you're probably searching for that perfect intersection of style, practicality, and value. It's exactly why small SUVs are just incredibly popular right now. But here's the thing. Underneath that polished, freshly waxed showroom shine, some of the most popular choices out there are hiding massive financial risks. Today, we're breaking down the absolute worst offenders in recent reliability rankings. But more importantly, we are going to equip you with the exact step-by-step inspection tools you need to avoid buying an absolute disaster.
Okay, let's dive into this. It is just so ridiculously easy to be seduced by a modern, stylish SUV sitting on a used car lot, isn't it? The paint is gleaming, the interior has that clean smell, and the price tag? Well, it feels suspiciously like a steal. But you really have to stop and ask yourself, are these popular vehicles actually a financial trap? The reality is, the auto industry is fiercely competitive. Cost-cutting measures and engineering oversights, they often don't reveal themselves until a car has a good few thousand miles on the clock. So what starts out as this exciting, aspirational purchase can rapidly glitch into a deeply stressful nightmare of warning icons, tow trucks, and open-hood repair footage. We have to look past the appealing exterior and focus on the gritty reality of what ownership actually looks like after your hard-earned money changes hands.
I mean, the initial appeal is totally obvious. Buyers absolutely love the Nissan Juke for its funky, quirky style. They love the VW Tiguan for its premium space and the Kia Sportage for its everyday practicality. But guys, this is exactly where the trap springs. Those appealingly low used market prices very often mask severe reliability risks. The shiny infotainment screens in the spacious cabins just distract you from the hidden costs that are waiting quite literally just around the corner.
Let's systematically identify the main offenders based on recent worst reliability lists. 3 specific models really stand out, and honestly for all the wrong reasons. First, the petrol-engine Nissan Juke from 2019 onwards. Then, the 2024 to present Volkswagen Tiguan. And finally, the 2016 to 2021 diesel Kia Sportage. Now, we aren't just talking about minor squeaks or annoying rattles here. We are talking about major electrical faults, engine blockages, and just wildly high overall failure rates. The risk you take when buying one of these specific years and models is statistically incredibly high.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how shockingly disproportionate the problem is with the Nissan Juke. Petrol models from 2019 onwards scored dead last in small SUV reliability. Let that sink in. Dead last. We aren't talking about one isolated quirky issue. We're talking about a massive volume of reported faults that practically swallow up any chance of a reliable ownership experience. It leads to weeks of downtime, which basically means this funky little city car might actually spend more time up on a mechanic's lift than parked safely in your driveway.
Moving over to the 2024 and newer Volkswagen Tiguan, the story shifts to these deeply frustrating electrical and safety meltdowns. Just imagine for a second, you're trying to turn on your AC or load up the navigation only to be met with a totally frozen screen and a dashboard that is suddenly lit up like a Christmas tree. Even worse, there are noted reported braking system problems. And because these systems are highly complex, they aren't quick fixes. You should expect to lose your primary vehicle for over a week at a time while it sits in the shop. That is a massive, incredibly stressful disruption to your daily life.
Then with the 2016 to 2021 Kia Sportage, we see this huge disconnect between how people expect to use the car and how the car actually handles that specific use. People buy the Sportage expecting a great, reliable urban runabout. But the reality, especially for the diesel versions, is entirely different. See, diesel engines require long, hot runs to clear their diesel particulate filters, or DPFs. So stop-start urban driving literally chokes these systems. Combine that choked filter with noted transmission concerns in these model years, and you are staring down sudden warning lights and a terrifying total loss of power. The worst part about this? Buyers completely miss these issues because, hey, the car feels totally fine on a quick 10-minute test drive.
So the crucial point really comes down to the cost. When you buy used, you're usually outside the comfortable safety net of the manufacturer's warranty. When the Juke's systems fail, or the Tiguan's electricals melt down, or the Sportage's DPF completely chokes, the repair costs just skyrocket. Parts and labor for these out-of-warranty fixes frequently exceed £1,500 out of pocket. Just like that, that massive hidden cost instantly wipes out any great deal you thought you negotiated.
Let's actually map out what this looks like for the unsuspecting buyer, chronologically. Day 1, it's pure excitement. You've got a stylish, practical car. But by month 2, the honeymoon phase ends abruptly when those first warning lights illuminate. By month 4, you aren't just dealing with lights anymore, you are actively stacking up repair receipts and crossing off calendar days while your car sits stuck in the shop. And as you approach year 1, the final painful blow lands. Because these cars have such poor long-term dependability, the market knows it. and the resale value of your vehicle significantly drops. You've paid for the car, you've paid for the repairs, and now the asset itself is worth far, far less.
So, if you absolutely must buy one of these models, or frankly, any used car at all, you cannot, under any circumstances, rely on shiny paint or a casual spinner on the block. You need a strict, self-disciplined system. You have to transition your mindset from being a casual shopper to being an investigative buyer. Let's break down exactly how to inspect a used car so you can protect your wallet. This is the ultimate buyer's checklist.
And this brilliantly illustrates how a grounded, methodical approach is your first essential habit for safe buying. Your inspection doesn't begin behind the wheel. It begins with the paperwork. Demand a full service history and look closely for any gaps. Check public databases to ensure all manufacturer recalls have been completed. Then, casually ask the seller about their typical driving habits. Remember the Sportage? If they used a diesel Sportage for 2-mile grocery runs, you know for a fact that DPF is choked. If the records are vague, or if the seller is being at all evasive, walk away immediately. Without solid service records, you are flying blind straight into a storm.
Now, if the paperwork actually checks out, the test drive is your next major diagnostic tool. And here's the rule. Turn the radio completely off. Listen closely for any clunks or whining. Test absolutely every single electronic feature, especially if you're looking at a Tiguan. Tap the touchscreens, roll all the windows down and up, blast the heat, turn on the AC. Does anything lag? Feel for any engine hesitation when you accelerate. And keep your eyes glued to the dash. If you see even a briefly flashing warning light, it is a hard deal breaker. Do not let anyone dismiss a glitch as a quirk. It's not a quirk. It's an incredibly expensive warning.
But look, at the end of the day, you don't have X-ray vision, which is exactly why an independent pre-purchase inspection, or PPI, is absolutely critical. A trusted independent mechanic will plug in an OBD scanner to check for hidden, recently cleared error codes that you'd never see. They'll put the car in a lift to check the transmission health and look for sneaky leaks. For cars with bottom-tier reliability rankings, paying for one single hour of labor for this inspection is the smartest insurance policy you will ever buy. It catches those hidden engine and transmission faults that a simple test drive will always miss.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our ultimate solution here. Honestly, if you want to bypass the stress of meticulous inspections and the anxiety of a future breakdown entirely, your best strategy is just to avoid these high-risk models altogether. The data simply doesn't point to safe years for the Juke, Tiguan, or Sportage lines we've talked about. Instead, pivot to safer brands like Toyota or Hyundai, which consistently rank way higher for overall dependability. The safest move is always to pick a vehicle with proven survey scores, rather than rolling the dice just because a car looks good on the lot. So, we arrive at the final verdict. Unless you happen to find a pristine, low-mileage example, can verify a flawless, to-the-letter service history, and pay for an independent pre-purchase inspection, these specific cars carry real, quantifiable risks of wildly costly problems. The hidden costs are out there, just waiting to turn your exciting new purchase into a massive financial regret. But you now have the tools and the strict checklist to protect yourself. You know what to look for in the paperwork, what to listen for on the drive, and when to just walk away. The only question left is, will you check the reliability data and use this rigorous inspection method before you buy your next car? Buy smarter, protect your wallet, and drive with absolute confidence. Thank you so much.